Boys, we need to have a chat. And the chat's going to be about strategy versus tactics. Now, I've been doing a lot of calls lately talking with prospective clients. And as we go through these conversations, one theme keeps coming up again and again and again. And it's something that I need to absolutely address here because it's driving me insane and I'm getting extremely frustrated. And I'm getting frustrated not because of the problem that these guys are bringing me, but because it just makes me so angry that people are getting stuck on something as simple as strategy versus tactics. So let's dig in and talk about this a little bit. I was on a call today with a prospective client, and we get into this conversation. We start talking, and he's like, "You know what, Jackson? Let me take a step back. First of all, I get him clear on what his problem is. His problem is that he's about 15, maybe 20 pounds overweight. His body fat is about twice what he wants it to be. Okay, those are huge problems, and he's not getting any closer to his goal. He's spinning his wheels, and he's not getting any closer. So we start diving in, and we start, diving into what the problem is, what his diet's like, what his exercise is like, what he's doing to solve this problem. And it becomes very clear to me that what he's doing is he's going to the gym and just doing a bunch of random stuff and then generally, quote unquote, eating healthy. He's like, oh, I eat healthy, I eat gluten-free, and I eat, gluten-free stuff. I'm like, why is gluten-free healthy? He's like, I don't know. like generally doing random stuff. So he's doing all these random things and then he says, I just need to level with you. I really think my problem is this. He's like, I'm not sure if I should be doing free weights or machines. And, I kind of get confused about fasted cardio versus not fasted cardio. Like, should I have a snack to fuel my body? He's like, and the last thing I think that I'm really struggling with is that, I'm not sure if I should be doing a meal before bed. Like, should I do a casein shake because it's like the slow protein? Or should I, do a whey shake or like no shake? He's like, I think if I had answers to those specific questions, then I'd really be able to solve my problem. And I'm like, wait, is this a joke? Am I like in the Matrix right now? Are you being serious? You're telling me that you're 15 to 20 pounds overweight, that your body fat is twice what you want it to be, that you're struggling and been spinning your wheels for months, and the only thing that you're missing is knowing if it's free weights versus machines, if it's fasted cardio versus having a snack, or if it's casein shake versus whey or no shake. Like, it just blows my mind. And think about it. As you're listening to this or watching this video and I explain it that way, doesn't it sound like absolute madness? Doesn't it sound crazy, even ridiculous? Like, to say something like it must be free weights versus machines. Now that's what I mean by strategy versus tactics. This guy was stuck on a tactical problem. He was stuck thinking that if he just figured out if it was free weights versus machines or these simple little things, that would solve his problem. But what the real problem was is that, again, he was stuck on these tactical things that make little to no difference. Whether or not I answered his questions very specifically and gave him the exact answer, he would not be any closer to his goal 3 months from now, 6 months from now. He wouldn't be there because those things don't matter. Those are trivial minutia. Again, they make very little difference. Unless you're at the elite level and you're like trying to pose for Men's Health and you're like, okay, Jackson, I'm at like 7-8% body fat. I need to get down to 5% body fat for my shoot with Men's Health. Like, what do I need to do? Then we can talk tactics. We can talk about those little specific things that are going to make the small little incremental difference between you looking amazing on camera for Men's Health or like, just looking really good. So that's what those little tiny differences will do. But when we're talking about cutting your body fat from like 20% down to 10 or 12%, or if we're talking about losing 10, 15 pounds, those things just don't matter. It's a waste of time, energy, resources, money, like you name it. It's just a complete waste. And what happens is people like this guy, they get stuck on this stupid stuff. And they get stuck there in this like information gathering mode. And they get stuck thinking that if they just had more information, if they just had the answer to these few questions, these few tactical questions, then the heavens would open up. Their body fat would plunge and they would build all this muscle and they would look better than ever. But that's never the case. It's just not the case. And once they find the answers to those questions, they're going to find 3 more questions that they need to find the answer to. And once they get the answer to those questions, then they'll be on their way. And it's always going to be the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It's information gathering is what it comes down to. It comes down to being stuck on the sidelines. It comes down to not being willing to fully make a commitment towards your dreams. It comes down to not focusing on the big, higher level, big picture things, the things that really matter, the things that absolutely really matter. You see, when I first started in personal training, I used to focus on a lot of these tactics too, because clients always had questions like this. They want to know whey protein versus casein versus egg protein. They want to know these little minor things. Fasted cardio versus no cardio, HIIT cardio versus traditional cardio. And I have answers for all those things, and it makes me feel smart to answer those questions, and it makes them feel good to get those answers and feel like, oh, I'm getting smarter, I'm gaining information, I know more than I knew yesterday. Now I can apply that tomorrow and I'll get better results. But the problem is that it doesn't come down to that crap, because it doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. What made a difference for my clients is when I stopped focusing on trivial tactics, when I stopped giving them answers to all that BS, and I filtered out all the noise and I shifted their focus and narrowed it in onto the big stuff, the big important stuff, the strategic stuff that really makes a difference. Like what's going to make a difference is not whether you use machines or whether you use free weights. What's going to make the difference is what's your workout strategy? What protocol are you using? Like, are you doing more traditional lifts, single sets, more circuits, metabolic training, complexes? Like that's more important. Like, what type of training are you doing? Like, what's your goal and what type of training are you doing? Those are more important questions. Way more important than free weights versus machines. When it comes down to like, what kind of protein am I eating? That just doesn't matter. Chicken versus beef, whey versus egg, whey versus casein, like, it doesn't matter. What matters is how many calories are you eating? What's the macronutrient breakdown of those calories? That matters way more than that tactical BS. What matters more than like gloves or no gloves, or things like what the other question he asked, which was like fasted cardio versus no cardio, or HIIT cardio versus traditional. Like, what matters more than that is, again, reverting back to what's your overall workout strategy? What's your goal? And what strategy are you going to apply from a workout perspective to get there? Not fasted cardio versus not fasted cardio. It doesn't matter. It's trivial. It's going to make very little difference. It's like, get the big things right. And if you get the big things right, the small things will either take care of themselves, or you'll have so much time and energy to focus on them and really perfect things later. There's this video like on the internet, it's on YouTube, and it's about this like idea of high level macro things, like big strategy versus small meaningless tactics. And what the guy does is he takes this jar and he has all these rocks and like pebbles of different sizes. So he has big rocks, he has like medium sized rocks and small rocks, and then he has sand, and he even has water. And what he does is he tries to put all like the sand in first, and then he puts the small rocks in, and then he puts the medium-sized rocks, and he tries to fit the big rocks in. And what happens is he can't fit the big rocks in. There's no room in the jar. They won't fit. They won't fit. But then what happens is you see him cut back, and then he gets the jar, he clears out the jar, and he puts all the big rocks in first. Then he puts the medium-sized rocks, then the small rocks, then he pours the sand in, and he's able to even pour water in on top of it, and it all magically fits in the jar. And the idea, like the metaphor of this video is this. Once you focus on the big strategic things, the big things that move the needle, that really make a difference, the 20% that has the 80% effect, if you focus on those things, then what you're going to find is all that other BS, all the little trivial tactics, all that stuff just takes care of itself. It will find a place, or it will be unimportant. Like when you're focusing on strategy, you call it the lead domino effect. Okay? Lead domino effect is like this. If you knock down that lead domino, it's going to make everything else easier or unimportant. And that's what strategy, focusing on strategy, will do for you. Again, focusing on strategy. What's my workout protocol? What workout protocol am I using? How many calories am I eating? What's the macronutrient breakdown of those calories? Am I doing flexible dieting? Like, those things are so much more important. They're going to make a big difference. They're going to make a huge difference. Whereas free weights versus machines, fasted carb, like all that stuff doesn't matter. It's a waste of time. It's giving you, all that stuff is just giving you permission to stay on the sidelines and to not step into the arena. It's giving you permission to not put in the hard work, to not really go after it, to not put in the sweat equity, to not have to work your ass off in the gym. Because you know what? I don't have to go to the gym today. I have to stay home and do more research on if I should use free weights versus machines. I should stay home and focus more on researching diets, because once I get the perfect diet, then everything's going to work out. Instead of trying a diet, going all in and focusing on your strategy, I'm going to research diets instead. I'm going to stay at home and, I'm not going to do anything. You will find out so much more stuff. You'll find out that your answers to all these questions, so much faster if you take action and just move forward and you start going after it and doing stuff and taking action and trying to focus on your big strategy than you will by focusing on these meaningless tactics and doing more and more research and information gathering. You're giving yourself an excuse, like it's a way out. It's a cop-out, in fact. So if you're sitting there at home and you're saying, like, Jackson, I need to focus on these tactics. I don't know what to do. Like, I just need more information. I got a real simple answer for you. You're focusing on, number one, the wrong thing, but number two, you're giving yourself a way out. You're taking it easy on yourself and giving yourself a cop-out. You're giving yourself an excuse, a story of why you can't have your dream body, of why you can't lean down, of why you can't build the muscle that you want, have the body that you want, and have the life that you want. It's a real easy excuse. It allows you to stay here and just say, you know what? It's not my fault. It's my age. It's my genetics. It's my body type. It's this. It's that. It's this other thing. It's because I don't have the answer to this or some other puzzle. It's some secret out there. But the truth is, I don't have a secret. And all the clients that I have, all the amazing clients, all the no-pack to six-pack transformations, one after another, the way I crank those things out, the reason the people that I work with get such amazing results is because I narrow their focus off all that crap and onto the big things that really matter. And I tell them, just focus on this. Don't worry about any of that other stuff. And I set up the strategy correctly. And when you set up the strategy correctly for yourself, you're going to notice that all of a sudden, burning body fat becomes easy and effortless. Building muscle even becomes easy and effortless. You start to fall, it's almost like you're running downhill. It's the difference between pushing uphill, pushing a boulder uphill, and running downhill on a sprint. That's the difference when you get these big things in line. No longer are you going to struggle. No longer are you not going to see results. No longer is it going to feel like a painful grind. Just the opposite. It's going to feel almost, like I said, easy and effortless. Now, it's not easy. It's hard work. It's hard work to focus on the strategy at first. It's hard work to align these things. It's hard work to then get the momentum going on them. But like I said, once you do that, if you put in that hard work initially, it's really going to pay off on the back end. It's going to make things so much easier. You're going to get results faster than you ever thought possible. And in 3 to 6 months, you are going to have quantum leaps in terms of your body, your mindset, your mentality, your mental toughness. You're going to look and feel like a different person. People are going to notice it. You're going to get compliments. People are going to be like, who the hell are you? What happened to you? You look amazing. You look great. And then they're going to ask you, what's your secret? And they're going to say things to you. They're going to say things like, you know what? I want to get a body like yours too, but I'm just not sure if it's whey protein versus casein or free weights versus machines. Oh God, the humanity, I don't know. And you're going to laugh. And you're going to be like, is this guy fucking serious? He's worried about free weights versus machines. Is he serious? And you're going to tell him the exact same thing I'm telling you now. That is complete BS. It doesn't matter. You're focusing on the wrong things and you're giving yourself an excuse and a way out. And you're going to get real on him. And he's probably not going to listen to you, but hey, you never know. It's worth a shot. So if any of this has resonated with you, if you're saying, Jackson, I get it. Okay, how do I focus on big things? Like, what are the things I need to focus on? Or like how can I shift that focus and shift my paradigm and set up these structures, this foundation for myself so I can get results fast? If you're saying that to yourself right now, all you got to do is send me a message, comment below, let me know that you need some help with this. And I'm more than happy to jump on a call with you and talk it through. And we can figure out how to set up the strategy correctly and get that game plan for getting you the results that you want faster than you ever thought possible. Send me a message, comment below, let me know. I'm happy to help. But you got to get off the tactical nightmare and get into the strategic heaven that's going to get you to your results faster than you ever thought possible. Okay, that's the game that's being played around you. And you need to have that self-awareness to know when I'm focusing on this stupid shit, to take a step back, to assess, to realize what's really going on, that my psychology is playing a game on me right now, that it's messing with me. It's keeping me preoccupied and busy with stuff that doesn't matter. And once you're able to recognize that, you can, again, take that step back, you can assess the situation, and you can set up your strategy to win, and to win faster than you ever thought possible. So take it from me. Shoot me a message if you need some help with this. Happy to help. I'm Action Jackson. I'll see you later.